Morning to you. It's not really morning. It's 10 to 4 in the afternoon. Do I have coffee later? It's still from this morning and I don't know, it's cold. I just wanted to finish drinking it. Apologies if I keep turning this way. I'm looking outside. So, what's been going on with Minnie is that Minnie moved to another apartment since last I saw you, and I could tell you how I did it. I could tell you why I did it, and I think I want to. I don't know if any of you might find this helpful. The end result is that I am on the 3rd floor, and I did show you a short, if you watched it, of my view, but that is not the reason I moved. That is just a bonus, and it's a wonderful view of this suburb of Seattle. Basically, we are 45 minutes out of Seattle, but it's kind of one big, long series of towns. 30 miles from Mount Rainier, but it's a view of the mountain, which is a volcano. Oh, my computer just shut off my screen. I gotta start over. I'm back. I've got my large monitor hooked up here, right there, on this counter, which is also where my air plants are drying after their weekly watering. In my 664-foot apartment, you know, super scrunchy. So I've got the interrogation light on right now. It seems really bright to me. It's showing all my bags and everything. Okay. Some of you know that I am up here in Washington for a few months, here and there, certainly through the holidays, to spend more time with my grandchildren. It's very expensive here. I used to live here until 5 years ago. Off and on, I've owned, 3 homes here, all doable. I might have even made less money when I owned them, but inflation here in Washington, Western Washington, is terrible. It's terrible. And so even apartments, this apartment is, twice my mortgage for a home down in Arizona. So I want to keep my house down there. I want to keep my house in my garden. So it's managing right now from the camera. I have Ring cameras, a couple of them. I'd like to have a 3rd one. It's managing. Plants appear to be still alive. I don't have anybody watering the plants very well. They're all on irrigation. But I wouldn't want to be indebted to anybody that way. So I got this apartment, and it is a brand spanking new building, new apartment complex, and I was the first person in that apartment. I was so surprised when they said, well, I said, do you have it painted after every tenant moves out? It looks so fresh, and they said, well, sometimes, but nobody else lived here before. That was on the 1st floor. Easy in and out, I could just walk to my car, which is not real close, it's not super far, and I do have to pay an additional $50 a month just for a spot under a carport. Garages are $200 a month. There I was in the very smallest, most affordable apartment, spending time with the grandchildren, trying to build relationships with them. I've had them a lot since they've been born over the years, but I've also been away a lot, and I definitely lost some ground in the grandparenting department. You cruise, you lose. As one said to me when he was 8, but we already have a grandma. And I'm like, well, now you have 2. You've always had 2. I was there when they were born, but they don't. I've kept in touch on FaceTime, but I needed more. They needed more from me, and I needed more from them. Here I am. Enjoying. And we're working on it. We're doing well in building relationships. First couple weeks in that apartment were awesome. other than, you know, I knew I was going to have to budget. Some people moved in about 2 weeks after I did, and it's been terrible. The woman is small, the 3-year-old child is smaller, and they stomp. They're incapable of walking silently. I think I've mentioned this before. I hear the man get up at 4:30 to go to work, and he's so quiet. I hear his footsteps, and they're so quiet, and it's doable. The little girl running, pounding, pounding, pounding is not doable. Now, she sleeps in till 8, but she's also up sometimes at 10:30 at night. And I'm in bed at 8, I get up at 5. Sometimes it was just so awful. People could hear it in the phone. It was just so awful. And I couldn't sleep when I wanted, you know? I mean, you've all experienced that at some time in your life when you need to sleep and you can't. It's heartbreaking, it's frightening. I have post-traumatic stress disorder from a lifetime. Anyway, I have, you know, diagnosed post-traumatic stress disorder, and I was a mess. I was a mess. I would see them go and know I was going to have peace, but they would go out almost every day to probably eat with family. And I knew if they were going out around 4 that they wouldn't be back till 9. I'm trying to get in bed at 8. So I've got one box fan going naturally. I sleep with a box fan. Then I had a second box fan going, and then I had the noise, the brown noise on my phone, white noise, brown noise, and it still wasn't enough. It was too much, and I went to the office and asked for a transfer. I didn't understand. I didn't actually have a copy of the lease. I didn't understand how difficult this transfer would be. We don't want to know what your disability is, they said. We just would need to know how would moving to a top floor apartment help you. So when I rented this apartment, well, not this one, one over there, I did go for a 3rd floor. I knew better than to go to a 1st floor. And I hoped against hope that a construction company would actually build a building that was worthy. No. They build floors like rice paper. I don't understand. Well, noisier than rice paper. I don't understand how hard it is. I've been in one apartment that it was concrete. I could hear the toilet running. I could hear the man going pee upstairs. This is in Virginia. But I couldn't hear the footsteps or the voices. Long distance, I had to contact my primary care provider, who really has never worked with me on post-traumatic stress. I've had various counselors. I'm not in counseling at the moment, so I can't just like run off and find a counselor and say, hey, can you do a letter for me? So I provided my primary care provider in Arizona the pertinent information that I actually retired on disability due to this problem, due to the post-traumatic stress. You know, he did an appropriate letter, and they approved the transfer without fees. So I moved up about 4 days ago. I moved upstairs. It's directly upstairs. I wanted to show you a little bit of the apartment, but my grandchildren, my son-in-law rallied my 4 grandchildren to come help. Now, I was trying to travel light. I was trying to be light in this apartment. I was trying to, just because I didn't know if I was going to stay here downstairs. First off, I didn't know if I could afford it. And then after the people moved in, I thought, I can't live like this. But you can be assured any other apartment's going to be better. You know, the devil you know, and this apartment came available, and it had always been empty, but they dropped the price by about $400 from what it had been listed at, or I would have requested this apartment. Well, all those flights of stairs, before the kids got here, there's 16, 12, 9, and 9. The 16-year-old is a girl. I carried my plants up 2 by 2, and I was going to film it for y'all. I just, you know, film that for y'all like you care, but I thought, well, I'm going to film this. I tell you what, by plants 7 and 8, I knew I wasn't going to film a single thing that day. Oh, it was so miserable to move, even though it shouldn't have been. And it's my age, to be honest. Also, I have plantar fasciitis in my right foot. I've been struggling with it since one of my hikes early in the summer. I wore the wrong boots. I had it a long time ago. Back in 2004, I had it about a year from jogging, and I resolved it. Oh, we're still. I'll have to edit all that out. I had to find a cord to plug the light in. Otherwise, it looks weird here. So I resolved the plantar fasciitis. It took about a year, and I resolved it by wearing, at the time it was Airwalk Crocs. They're not Crocs, Airwalk plastic mules from Payless. They were it. So, and I don't mean all day, but what I do mean is you never walk barefoot if you have plantar fasciitis. And it took about a year, which is pretty typical. Resolved, you know, went to the doctor. They tried taping. I don't know that I got a shot. We talked surgery. I'm like, none of those. Get that. I resolved it. Well, it started again in July, and it's been going strong. It's getting worse. I'm trying to go back to my walking. I like to walk a couple miles every day, every other day, and not able to do that. Bottom line. So, plantar fasciitis. And then the muscles in my legs were just hurting so bad. And I was like, oh my God. So still, 4 days later, they're very, very sore. And it's kind of concerning to me because still in my 60s, but I'm like, whoa, how am I gonna make it if you know, I'd like to be in better shape. The kids were just wonderful, just carrying little things, big things, didn't matter. They just carried it up. My 16-year-old granddaughter moved heavy stuff, and then ultimately my son-in-law came after he was done with his Christmas shopping, and he helped the 16-year-old move stuff. And all right, so the apartment. I'm in the apartment. I'm very happy up here. I'm very happy up here. I don't much like going downstairs. I had to carry all the Christmas gifts down yesterday to take to my son-in-law's. They were hosting, and I made 2 trips. It's okay because my legs are getting better. I will get used to it, of course. Today, honestly, I had an Instacart order. I didn't want to fight stores. I didn't want to fight carrying bags upstairs with my legs still sore from the move. But I wanted to film it for you. I thought it'd be cute, watching little footsteps go by, set my tripod up. And I am so sorry that I just didn't have the oomph to do it. Almost right away, I was like, nope. I did film a few things, but it wasn't like I'd like it to be. Now, one nice thing about being on this 3rd floor is I am gonna put some plants out there. So maybe something with winter interest. There's enough moisture in the air that will water them. I don't need to worry about that. I am going back to Arizona. I was going to drive out today. I'm worried about the snow and the ice. I've been in them before. To get out of Washington, you've got to go through some kind of mountain range. Doesn't matter which one, whether it's the Cascades or the Siskiyous. You just can't get out of here without going through a mountain range. Or even if you manage to sneak along the Columbia River, you're going to go through Oregon mountain ranges. So I was going to drive out today. I have to be back. Well, I've got appointments, I've got lab draws, I've got medical appointments that need to be attended to that don't have a wiggle room. I'm going to fly. I'm going to fly on the 1st. I found a cheap rate. I'm going to fly one way, and I am going to rent a car. I know, they're awful. They're awful to rent, the cost, but I just don't have 1,600 miles in me right now. I heard there was going to be an atmospheric river coming through, which meant lots of snow in the mountains. I don't know if that panned out a lot, but it's a decision I made. So anyway, I will talk to you soon. This is just the apartment saga. And I'll just show you a few things and the view. And if you have any questions about it, let me know. Talk to you soon. Bye. Couldn't get this thing to hit the video. This is gonna be my new walk. This is going downhill. It's pouring rain today, freezing. Well, luckily I'm in the same building. There's a little bit of wind today that blew garbage cans over. Well, those people on the 3rd floor are generally happier. Interesting, I didn't know everybody had mats. I'm the only one who didn't. Of course, a dog peed on mine the other day, so it's just as well. Ooh. It's cold and windy for my move today, but I'm only going upstairs. Yeah. Brr.
It's moving day, dearies. Unexpected, I know. I'm on the 3rd floor now. I can't breathe already. It'll get easier. Oh gosh, there go some ducks. This apartment is exactly the same, but it actually does have a couple things that are different. It's about 9:20 in the morning. I just did a quick walkthrough. I wanted to mop this floor, and the thing that is different about this apartment is it's got carpeting, and I will enjoy that very much. I apologize, my hair is up in a little thing. It's pouring rain. It was pouring rain earlier. Same size, super expensive. Nobody's lived here before either, so it's a new build. I want to show you the view. That is Mount Rainier in there. It's buried in clouds today, but that will be quite the view. Nobody will be walking overhead, which is why I am moved into this. You see that hill? I used to live up there. Not the tall one, but the one right next to it. There's a housing area up there. I used to live in there. I owned a home. Still wish I did. Very small, but I'd take it back in a heartbeat. This is going to help with lighting not coming in, but mostly it's going to help with nobody walking overhead. I'd rather have one of those cottages, but those are over $2,300, $2,500.